I just want to share, a little bit of my life, growing up in the islands in Antigua, New Inthrops village, or they call it Blizzard, right next to Barnes Hill. And we had Cedar Grove, Clear Hall, Johnson, Pigots, Potters. Those are the neighboring villages, neighboring areas. So growing up in the islands, it was strict. I grew up in a really strict household. My grandmother, spare not the rod and spoil the child. A disobedient child is worthy of death. She was the type that she would ask you to read scriptures and you would try to skip over verses to try to finish quickly. And she would know exactly what you were missing, exactly what you were trying to skip over. It was amazing the way that this lady knew the Bible. She was a very giving person, but strict. My grandmother she was just a different breed. And I love her. She passed away in 1989, but I love her. Mama, I love you, wherever you at. I know you're around because there are times when I still answer because I think I hear you call me. So I catch myself saying, yes, Mom. Then I look around and realize, but I still hear her from time to time. Still hear her. Francis Jenny Hampson. Love you. So my early childhood, she was the main one that it was her rules and regulations, even though my mom was around, uncles, aunts were around, but whatever mama said, that's what's going to happen. You ain't questioning nothing. You ain't trying to even resist or whatever she said, that's what it was. I remember this lady would come to mama's house or to come to the house and she would always complain about we did this and we did that. And I'm being honest, as a little child, I was so terrified of spankings, of beatings, of licks, of the packing, the packing, car tire. I've never got beaten with those, but I'm just saying, but I was so terrified of spankings, of being disciplined, that I tried my best to avoid certain situations. I did my thing. Don't let me sit here and act as if, I was an angel. Far from it. But for the most part, the teachings that they gave me, my grandmother, my aunts, my uncles, my mom, all the elders that I knew, that I grew up under. Because that's what I did. I grew up under them. It was not no eye-to-eye conversation per se. They were, but it's them talking down to you. It's them telling you how you're supposed to live, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. So you didn't really have a voice. But those were the times. We don't hold no animosity. We understand that that's what they knew, so that's what they taught. That's how they went about it because that's all they knew. That's what was done to them and generations before and so forth and so on. So we don't be angry because we were treated a certain way or we got beatings or whatever the case may be. We're grown now. Thanks, Mama. Thanks, all the elders. Thanks, Mommy and Daddy, because my mom was my mom and Dad. Dad was around, but not really around. Listen, there's no hard feelings towards him either. I love the man still. You understand? He's not here anymore. But Daddy and wherever they respect still, Marvin Lewis, Daddy and yeah, he that. What a man too. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so yeah, growing up in the islands, it was like a tug of war, like the household and then the guys in the neighborhood. The things that I'm hearing on the outside, but at home is all discipline. There's no go and play. You never hear that. It's go and read the Bible, go and play the piano, go and do something constructive, go and water her plants, growing coconut trees, 10, 15, 20 feet high. And we still, as kids, used to have to go to the cistern. We had a cistern under the house. We used to have to go to the cistern and get water out of the cistern and water these coconut trees. All the fruit trees in the yard. We had coconut trees. We had orange trees, tangerine, mandarin, sapodilla, mommy support, guava, grape, soursop, sugar apple, calabash in the backyard, cherry tree in the backyard, cane, bananas, the pumpkin, lime, lemon, breadfruit, pomegranate. I'm trying to remember. But these are the trees that was in the yard that I grew up in. And, tambourine. And it was a beautiful time. And as a kid, you never realized how much you had. You never realized it because that's just what it was. Guava dropping off the tree, and the kids in the neighborhood would climb over the fence and come in to steal the guavas. And those are my friends. I'm not even lying. They were friends. But to be funny, we would inject the guava with, they have this pepper that they call peggy mold pepper or bird pepper. We would crush it up, add water to it, put it in a syringe, inject the guava, and then leave them under the tree. So when our friends would run in the yard and steal the guavas and bite into it, it's pepper in their mouth. And we thought that was fun. Whoever did that to you guys, hey, it's a part of growing up. Or my grandfather had a dynamo that is like a generator. And we used to hook it up to the fence. And our friends did not know that the fence had this electric current running through it. We were evil kids. And so when they would try to climb over the fence to come and steal guavas or whatever the fruits that was in season, they would get shot. And we thought that was so funny. But let's be honest. They had no reason to come and steal, right? They should have just asked, right? But we were kind of evil in that way that sometimes they would ask and we wouldn't give them any. Just kids being kids. Just kids being kids. We weren't really mean because every man that I grew up with can tell you, Romney ain't no bad dude, ain't no bad kid, ain't no... I was cool with everybody, basically. Anybody that I wasn't cool with they had issues with me. I ain't had no issues with nobody. Seriously. Any situation I had in, we did what we had to do, we fight, whatever it is, and after that it was over. I never held on to nothing with none of my childhood friends and all that. Nah, never held on to none of that stuff. No, there's one guy that did me something at time, but we ain't gonna go into that, you know? But I have forgiven him too. But there was one guy from the village that had did something to me that for years I held on to that and wanted to get a hold of him. But we grow, so I forget about that. Anyway, yeah, so going up in the islands was wonderful, man. I remember we used to go to the beach. Going to the beach was, oh my goodness, I used to enjoy that. Because all the guys in the village, whatever you could get from your house, you would bring it. If you can get 2 chicken wings, you bring the 2 chicken wings, 2 potatoes, plantain, green banana, little rice, little flour, little sugar, little sweet oil or cooking oil, whatever you could get. And we would go to the beach and cook on the beach and have a wonderful time. Those days were wonderful. Playing marble. I used to love to play marble. To the point where my kneecaps were like leather. Were black and like leather. They're not as discolored anymore, but they're still kind of tough. I ain't gonna lie. Because it's just... And I still kneel on my knees all the time. And they tell me it's not good. They say eventually my knees are going to give me problems. Thank God thus far they haven't. You know, but it's just a part of growing up. Playing marbles, playing basketball. When we really started playing basketball in the 80s, I think like the early 80s, when Bird and Magic started, the Lakers and thing, that's the first that we saw where it was that thing in the 80s. and we started getting into basketball. That became my first love. Before that, I used to like track and field. I used to like cricket. I used to like soccer. And I love them all still, or even as a kid. But basketball just shot to the top. I was the defense, rebounding. Yeah, short. I'm short. 5'7" now at the time. What, 5 feet, 5'1", 5'2", 5'3", all that time. And I'm one of the best rebounders. I'm one of the best block shotters back then because I used to get up. And because I was so short, a lot of people used to underestimate me. So by the time you realize, it's already out of here. Yes, it's so funny that when I moved to the States, to New York, and I started playing with the American kids that I was around. I was like 16, 17 at that time. They started calling me Mad Ups. Because they used to say, yo, you got mad ups. The young days, I ain't got none of that no more. I probably can't even touch the net at this point. But anyway, you know, we can look back and say, yeah, we had fun. And that's what life is about. Life is about all the stages that you go through. You're supposed to have fun so that you can look back and say, that was a beautiful time. So I can talk about the beautiful times as a kid in Antigua, going around the island, riding my bicycle all over the island, going to check girls in different villages. Hey, that's what I was doing. Going to the beach, Halcyon Hotel, that whole strip of beaches. I used to be on those beaches like often. Did a whole lot of crap that I'm not going to speak about right now. But I did my thing, man. And my parents did not know that I was doing all those things, to be honest. I was sneaking away, what they call sneak away. Sneak away and go down the road and suffer the consequences afterwards. Or sometimes you sneak away and then lie and said you went somewhere else when you didn't really go there. But then you get caught. Eventually you get caught and get beatings. I'll tell you a story about my grandma. One time my grandmother beat me because of something. So afterwards, I remember if it was hours or whatever had passed, some time had passed. And I said, Mama, can I talk to you? And she said, what? And I said, Mama, you know, whatever, I don't remember what it was. Whatever you beat me for, let's say, eating the candy. You know, when you beat me for eating the candy, Mama, I really didn't eat the candy. And she put her arms around me and looked me in my face and said, we're even. So as a little kid, I'm looking around and I'm saying, even? I don't understand that. How we're even? I got beaten and I didn't do anything. So then she said, we're even because there was something that you did that I did not know about. So now we're even. That was that. Oh my God, my grandmother something else, Miss Hampson. Miss Hampson was something else. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, like growing up, it was beautiful, man. And because they were so strict, I had to sneak out. And to be honest, if I did not sneak out, as small as Antigua is, it's 108 square miles, right? As small as Antigua is, I would not have known as much as I know about Antigua at this point in my life. Because they took us to town Saturday mornings. I went a couple of times early on with my grandmother to the market. But it's always like with an adult going to a particular place and then back. It was not no freedom to just roam and, no, we didn't have that. But I got the opportunity to sneak out and do my thing. And although they were upset, I had to. I had to see the little bit of the island that I saw. Because then I left and I stayed away and I'm still away. I'm still in the States. I've been away since 1989. I've been back a few times. However, I've been in the States for all these years. You understand? So I still have that connection. I still know that that's my home, Antigua, Blizzard, New Winthrop's village. I still think of all the guys I grew up with. Them twins, Tommy and Tony, Domax, Alan, Bandit, Mullen, Chaxi, Aleman, Burger. You know what I mean? All them man there, Blizzard man. Dees, Jalang. You know what I mean? All them man the job. We tell you, you know what I mean? And like I said, me and all them man get along, man. Wildcat, Mr. Sabu. Lots of people, man. Lots of people. Lots of people. And it's all good vibes, man. All great vibes, to be frank. All great vibes. Yeah, man. So then we end up, you know, I came to this country, to the States, and started my life up here. And there've been ups and downs, but mostly ups. And the downs, hey, you know that's a part of it. So whatever it is, you just deal with it and just, you know what I mean, make the best of whatever the situation is and realize that after the darkness, there's going to be light. So you keep pushing through. You keep going. So that's all I do, you know, but that's just a little part about, you know, the island part of me, you know, growing up. Being a little boy, climbing trees, shooting birds, making catapult. My grandmother used to have the post office, so we used to get the rubber bands that the mail would come packaging. Like you have a bunch of mail and a rubber band around it. So we used to have a lot of rubber bands. And so we used to use those and make slingshots, what they call slingshots here. But in the islands, we call it catapult. You get a branch off of a tree with a V and like a Y. And the rubber band attached to one. And on the end, we used to use the tongue for the shoe. Cut off a piece of the cloth. And on the end of that strip, you put holes in each and attach the rubber band to those holes. And then you make a slingshot or catapult, like we used to call it, and go bird hunting. That was fun. And after hunting, we'll cook the birds that we get in the woods and make up a little fireside. We used to call it fireside. And cook the birds, roast the birds and stuff like that. Those are fun days, man. Those are fun days. I remember Jim Philip Cane Grung. And them boys used to raid Jim Philip Cane Grung. I remember walking from school, which is Clear Hall School, to Blizzard, to New Inthrops. And all those ground in between there. We used to go through all those ground and pick carrot, sweet potato, whatever, on our way home if we're hungry. And we eat it on the street, coming home. I remember as a kid in the village, when it rained a lot, we do boat race in the water. You put a cane peel. So this cane peel is mine, that leaf is somebody else's. And we put it in the gutter. And so as the rain is being washed down the gutter, we're racing our we call it boats. So you're racing a cane peel versus my leaf versus a piece of stick, whatever it is. Those are fun days. Those are fun days. I remember those days, man. I remember some people used to have what we call bad dogs that are really aggressive, cross. So when they're crossing certain people property or their yard, you start jogging to catch up with speed. So by the time you're in full speed, shoo, you fly past the person's yard. So by the time the dog is out, you're way ahead. So you get a jump start. I remember we used to do that. That is crazy. So we used to try to outrun dogs. I remember riding a bicycle past somebody's yard and the dog run out and you trying to kick, so the dog wouldn't bite your leg. I remember them days. And although it was kind of scary, it was kind of exciting too. I used to love to go to the beach. Oh, I mentioned that already, but yeah, I used to love to go to the beach, man. I used to love to swim. I used to love go dig cockle. Dig cockle. John Beef and Whelks off the rocks. I remember all those things, man. Go fishing. Potworks Dam. I remember one day, my uncle Stephen or Stepen, I remember him and his friend, I'm thinking it's Jumbi. I don't remember who else. But took all the nephews and stuff, a bunch of us, and went to Potworks Dam. Went to fish for Kali. Up here, Kali almost looked like Porgy. Almost looked like Porgy to me. But went to fish for some Kali. And we got like, we would call like jacks, buckets of Kali. We put the bucket in the water, have it maybe like quarter or half with water, and as you catch them, you put them in there to kind of keep them alive. So we got home, we had all these collie, and we cleaned them, scaled them, guts them, seasoned them, and I remember we had a fish fry over by my uncle. Well, that's where Uncle Stephen used to live, but then later on Uncle Bernard lived. That was the house across from where I grew up. I grew up in the first wall house in New Chops, at the beginning of the village, right by the big tambourine tree. Miss Hampson, or the Hampson's house, that's where I grew up. So, but the house across on the other side of the street, that's where we had the fish fry. That also is our property. And I remember that, and as a kid, it was beautiful times. And then we used to play this game we called Fusion. It's like cricket, but you're kneeling down, one knee down, and the bat is much smaller. So you're on your knee and you're trying to bat, and the person is bowling on the hand. And I remember sometimes you're batting and you're in there for a long time, they can't get you out. All of a sudden, zoop, boom, right to your face, like just to shake you up, you know? And it's all fun because it's a tennis ball. It's a softball. It's an actual tennis ball. That's what we used to use. So it was all in the name of fun. You know, nobody really was trying to hurt nobody, but that's a part of it, to like try to shake you up so that they can get to the wicket. Just like in baseball, they move you off the plate. When they throw the ball kind of close to the body to get you off the plate. It's the same kind of thing. But it was fun. It used to be so much fun. All the trees, all the sugar apple trees, walking through the woods, getting dig up by Cassie in your foot, riding people donkey, riding people horse. I remember my grandmother had a pig. We used to call the pig Piggy Wiggy. And the pig used to bite everybody, or attempt to bite everybody except me. And I'm a little boy. I'm talking 3-4 years old. And I used to, where the pig pen was, further down in the back of the yard, because we had a decent sized yard. When I was a kid, I thought it was so huge. But as I got older and been back, it's big for New Chop size, but not really that big. Anyway, so the pig pen would be more to the west side of the property, but at the back of the yard now, we had sapodilla tree, and pigs for some reason love sapodilla. Well, this pig in particular. So every time this pig would get out the pen, running right down to the sapodilla tree. So any sapodillas that fall on the floor, it would eat the sapodilla. So I realizing that what I used to do is, instead of locking the pig pen door, I would leave it without putting on the latch. So, because another pig is going to go and bump against it. And so Piggy Wiggy would go and bump against it and get out the pen and go down to the sapodilla tree. And I, as a little boy, 4 or 5, somewhere around there, years old, is down there waiting. When Piggy Wiggy gets down to the sapodilla tree, I would jump up Piggy Wiggy's back and ride that pig all the way back up to the pig pen. And I would do that several times in the day. As a little kid, that was just fun for me. It's crazy. And to see if anybody's tried to go in that pig pen or even put their hands in the pen or whatever, it would run at them as if it was going to bite them. So, but I was a little kid, and for some reason, Piggy Wiggy never bothered me. But that's just, part of growing up, man. I had goats, I had cows, I had chickens, I had rabbits, I had pigeons, I had 2 dogs that was mine, Whiskey and Brandy. I love my dogs. That's when I was a little boy in Antigua. I used to love my dogs. I used to do dog fights. It's not good. But as a kid, I didn't know no better. I used to do cock fights, chicken fights, rooster fights. It's not good. But people do it for fun. Hey, if that's what you're doing, I ain't judging you. For me, I just realized just making 2 animals fight for my pleasure. I don't know. But that's just me. If you're doing it and you're having fun and it's legal in your place and all that stuff, hey, I have no problems with it. But I'm just telling you from me. But I used to do it as a kid. I did. Yeah, so, it was just fun. and going to different villages to play basketball, going to different villages to play cricket, soccer, so you get to meet other kids from other villages, meet girls from other villages. It was just a fun time, man. It was just a fun time. Fun time. I have, she's still alive. Thank God. My Aunt Christy and my Uncle Teague. Uncle Teague just passed. God bless you, sir. I love you too. But my Aunt Christy, wonderful lady. Wonderful lady. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And she's a Scorpio. Later on in life, I learned about Scorpio. Aunt Christy's a Scorpio. But, oh my God. What a wonderful person. Wonderful person. Yes, man. So, my Uncle Anthony, Uncle Stephen, Uncle Eugene, Uncle Bernard. I was around those uncles a lot. My other uncles, in and out, but they were mostly overseas. You know, Uncle Joseph early on. You know, and all my cousins, man. And a lot of kids. My mom is one of 14 with which is mama and daddy and grandma. Grandma and grandpa had 14. My grandpa had, I think, 2 extra on the outside. So I guess he had 16. 15 or 16, I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that one. But hey, that's what it is, man. It happens, you know, so we live and we move on. We live and we learn and we move on. But life, man, nobody's perfect, you know. Everybody have their ways. Everybody come up short from time to time. It's just life. We ain't holding no animosity towards nobody. It's life. That's what it is, you know. But yeah, man. So all my aunts, all my uncles, in some way, shape or form, they played a significant role, you know what I mean, whether they know it or not. My Aunt Joan, I love you, Aunt Joan. I love you. Estee, respect King. Eugene, Andre, my boy. Fabia, well, go on, sister. Yeah, Jenny, my mommy. Love that woman, boss. Love that woman there. Me love that woman there. Me ne care who no love she. Me ne care who have problem with she. If I have a problem with she, I'm problem with me. Me love that woman there. She not perfect, but nobody perfect. Yeah, Jenny, Alexandria, Hampson. Me love you. I care what nobody else say. And me know the other picking that you have. Spliff and Kershaw, they love you too. And that's all that counts. I know you love yourself. Because they don't tell you. You have to love yourself. I don't care what nobody else think about you. You're Jenny, I love you. Salute your mother. I love your mother. I'm a mama that. I don't give a damn. I'm a mama. Yeah, man. So, just beautiful, man. A beautiful childhood. Like I said, really strict, but, man, listen, it's a part of growing up in the Caribbean. Yeah, I mean, and my Louis side of the family. Don't think we forget y'all enough. When I forget y'all, man. Auntie Janice, I love you. Auntie Bridget, you know how I go on. Miss Daislyn, you know what I mean? Sober's gone, but I love still. Errol, Mr. Moffat, how I go on. Fathead, respect King. Yes, I. Pluck, I see you know. I hear things are going good for you, big man. Respect every time. Respect every time. Tonto. You know me know the Tonto that me know. That is the Tonto me know. And we all grow up. But the Tonto that me know, and my Tonto that. Yeah, man. Respect. So, some brief thing, you know. Grandma, mother, wall bridge, grandpa, you know what I mean? Papa, Mr. Hampson, George Hampson. Yeah, man, I say be. Enough love. Justin, I see you, Justin. See you. You know what I mean? All mother brothers and sisters. I see you. All my nieces, I see you. All my nephews, I see you. All my nephews, I see you. And listen, your uncle don't judge none of you. Even when you're doing crap. I'm not gonna curse. Even when you're doing crap, your uncle love you. All my asks, reach out. I'm here. Anytime you need me, reach out. But anyway, people, just a brief about me, and how I am and how I look at life and what I think is important and so forth and so on. But growing up, man, played a significant role in the man that I am today. So thank all them people, everybody that have ever give me something, whether it's good or bad, because even the bad things I learn from them. So thank you, everybody. Respect and love. Conversations from the heart. Just a little thing about the island boy, Respect. Yes, I. Like, share, and subscribe. Content, people. It's just life, man. We explaining life. We explaining joyous parts of life, the sad parts of life, but we know it's life. It's life. It's life. And we have to live it to the fullest. Live it to the fullest. Respect, my people. Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, yeah.